he was going to be a politician. And he also left a job where he was getting pretty well paid to start working at a startup. I'm so excited to present you one of my good friends and also an awesome guy I work with, Ryan Quiros, who's the CFO of the company. He has a very interesting story to tell, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. Here it goes.
Hi, I'm Ryan Quiros. I'm a partner and CFO of Sweetberry. As the CFO, I'm in charge of making sure the company's finances are in order, making sure we're analyzing all the data that we're collecting and funneling that to the right people. My career track was, I guess you could call it, non-traditional. I went to Rutgers University for my undergrad, and I always wanted to get into politics in some sort of capacity, whether it be being a politician or as a staffer. And my first job out of college, I worked as a legislative aide. And I realized that I wasn't so keen on working as a staffer for someone else. Throughout that process, I realized, wasn't quite for me. I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. I started bouncing around to different jobs. And ultimately, I decided I was going to go back to grad school. Started going to grad school for an MBA, pivoted again into accounting, and that's kind of where I started to kind of get into this field and realize what it really was that I wanted to do with my career. And in Las Vegas, that's where I got my first accounting job. I was able to become the financial controller of a manufacturing company out there and worked there for about 4 years, a little over 4 years until joining Sweetberry. The decision to go back to grad school for me was important because it helped me learn the basics of finance and accounting. But I think nothing can really prepare you for taking on deeper roles with companies. And I think a lot of my learning, a lot of my process was really trial by fire. I got put into some tough situations early on, and that's really when I grew. That's when I learned. So I wouldn't say I regret going back to grad school. I wouldn't say, I'm against people doing that. The important thing about school is getting something out of it, learning, and taking that and being able to pivot that or use that into your future endeavors as you grow and as you begin your career. Because once you start your career, once you really start working, you're going to learn so much more than you did in school. But school's going to give you that foundation for sure. The biggest risk I ever took was probably my decision to uproot myself and move to Las Vegas. I felt stagnant. I felt like I needed change. And so I packed up all my things, put it through in my car, I quit my job, and I spent a month driving across the country until I arrived in Vegas. And I think it was a mixture of, maturing, a mixture of going through some failures and figuring out what it was I did well, what it was I did poorly, what it was I wanted to do, and not starting from scratch, but trying to, start something different. It was really one of the best things I've ever done. This was one of the riskiest, but it worked out for me. I put a lot of work into the last company I worked for, and I had a good position. I had a good place. I had a steady salary. I was living in a high-rise in downtown Las Vegas. I gave all that up to join Sweetberry, moved out of that high-rise, and currently I moved into my father's house back here in Jersey. And I did that because the short-term sacrifice that I had to endure, to me, was nothing compared to the potential, the possibility of building something greater. To me, that's what entrepreneurship is, right? It's a sacrifice, and I think there's a negative connotation when people hear sacrifice, but when you're sacrificing something for something greater in the long run, something greater than yourself, something greater than what you have. And that's what we're doing here at Sweetberry is, we're all putting in the long hours, we're putting in the work, and it's to build something great. the people around me. And not just the core guys, not just the partners, not just the corporate employees that that I work closely with now, but everyone involved in this endeavor. Not the staff at the stores, the people we consult with, the people who give us advice, the people who are commenting on our social media posts. All of that support, it's great to see, and it's a good reminder of why you're doing this, and it's a great motivator to keep going, even when sometimes it can get a little tough. Outside of work, I like to mess around with music, and I really love to get outdoors, whether it be hiking in the summertime or snowboarding in the winter. And I think for me, it's really important to have those things that you're passionate about outside of your work, because it gives you time to kind of discharge. Gives you time to reflect, and it gives you time to really appreciate life and just enjoy yourself, which I think is really important in being successful and being able to keep an even keel and get through some of the challenges of the workday as well. For us it works out really well. I've been following Desi into the fire, since we were kids. I knew what to expect of him. He knows what to expect from me. Should everyone get involved in business with their family? I think you really need to ask yourself, can you separate the family part from the business part? Desi and I are able to do that, and so it works out. If that's something you can't do, then I would advise against it, but I think it's a case-by-case sort of thing, because I've seen family endeavors go wrong as well. So when you start, you're going to experience pressure, both externally and internally. You're going to experience pressure from the people you're bringing along with you. You're going to hear people asking you, questioning what you're doing, asking you if you're making the right decisions. Is this really the right thing for you? And then internally, you're going to be dealing with the own pressure you're putting on yourself. The pressure to deliver for the people who are putting their faith in you. You're going to be hearing the people who are doubting you. Those voices might creep into your own internal narrative as well. And I think the most important thing to understand is that's part of the deal. That's part of it early on, and you have to keep your eye on the end game, the long-term goal, the 100,000-mile view, so to speak. Because if you let all that noise distract you, you're never going to accomplish your goal. Do I love what I do? Absolutely. I'm fortunate enough to be able to grow, learn, and teach and mentor, do all those things, in my day-to-day. Whether it's getting advice from other partners in the company or Desi himself or some of our advisors, or whether it's grooming some of the younger staff that we have. It's all very fulfilling, and it goes back to kind of why I took this leap, to be able to create and build and bring people along and deliver for people.
What an interesting story. I love it. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe for more content like this. We're really excited to share with you. So stay tuned for more, and let us know what you thought. Go down in the comments. Let us know. Maybe you have something you want to share as well. So anyway, stay tuned. Ciao.